Hello and welcome to The Hub. I'm Wang Guan in Beijing. It's been about 6 months since we last connected, and this time I had a wonderful opportunity to meet the One Voice Children's Choir from the United States, from Utah in particular, in person because they're right here in Beijing for a visit. They returned to China for the Bond with Kuliang 2025 China-U.S. Youth Choir Festival. Once again, spreading joy and love and harmony through the universal language of music. From the Chinese city of Xi'an and Fuzhou to Beijing, their journey has been filled with vibrant energy, heartfelt melodies, and unforgettable moments, lighting up this summer with the spirit of people-to-people exchanges. So, what is new on this visit? What surprised them and touched their hearts? And more importantly, left a lasting impression for them? Here's my conversation with Tanner DeWaal, the CEO and Artistic Director of the One Voice Children's Choir. So Tanner, you're back in China. I mean, you were here not so long ago. Maybe I can ask you about your top China experience this time around.
I love working with children and seeing them interact with other students. It's really special. It's really special to walk in a room and immediately feel loved. The Chinese kids are so good at that. They're so welcoming. I've never met a more welcoming culture. And then seeing these kids, even though they don't speak fluently with each other, just seeing them work to talk, work to communicate, sing together, I think that's been really powerful. We shared a special experience with this school in Fuzhou, and the School of Children. We've been singing Kuliang with this group in multiple places. Yep, and they're going to sing that again today. And that has been really special to be able to interact with them in multiple occasions. The first day we got there, and you could tell the kids were a little bit nervous as they were singing the song together for the first time. And now every time they see him, it's big waves and so excited, and it's really special to see that.
What about Xi'an, Beijing, and other cities?
Yes. Seeing the Terracotta Warriors in Xi'an was unbelievable. Like how vast that location is. It's hard to really comprehend on the time that it took to do those things. I think that is one of the things too that I really respect about Chinese culture and Chinese history is the intricacy of creating something. And the time and effort that it takes to do that. I could only imagine it would take me years to do one of those figures, and yet they have so many. And then we were just at a museum yesterday, and they had beautiful jade carvings, and those, wow, the detail in them was unbelievable. I couldn't even draw something like that. And
no, we're also learning lots creativity-wise from you guys. I mean, of course, when it comes to hard work, discipline, there's a plethora of hard workers here.
Yeah.
But I think it takes learning from both sides.
Yes, for sure. And at the end of the day, I think we both want and are hoping for the same thing. A world filled with peace, a world with people who care about each other, a world where people are looking to understand each other first before they're finding any fault. Because I think if you do look for fault or issue with someone or something, you're going to find it. But if you look and think that they have the best intentions in mind, you're going to find out we're so much more on the same page.
How do you see the kids expressing their confidence while singing in Chinese, which is their foreign language, of course? It's an alien language. Yeah. It's from the Far East, let's say. Did you observe that kids eventually find their confidence in singing in Chinese?
Yeah, and it's small steps. First, they have to know the notes, and then they have to go word by word. And we use like the pinyin version of the word, so we can see it, but they might not be able to read it in the same way. So they need to make a note for themselves. Oh, this sounds like this, and then they'll go slow, phrase by phrase, and then put together the whole line. So it takes some time, but with those slow progressive steps, they're able to put it together.
All along, they knew the meaning of, for example, Ruyuan, as you wish. They know the meaning of, the desire, the The rich meaning rooted in history.
Yes, yeah, we talk about that and why we're singing it, and out of a respect for those who have gone before us and future generations, and the kids like to know what they're singing about, and because we talk about connection so much and connecting with the audience, that knowing what you're singing and why you're singing it is helpful to establish that connection.
To what extent do you think the lyrics of As You Wish resonated with the kids and with you?
Well, I will say, I think one thing we learn from China is there is a deeply rooted connection to history and respect for history. And I think the kids get a sense, especially now being here, of how much people care and know about their history, and it kind of makes us maybe look or feel a little bit bad, like, oh, I need to do more history work. I need to learn more. There's so much to learn, because there's some aspects from history that we need to grow from, and some that we need to do better from, and then there's some that we want to continue following. And in a song, As You Wish, that there is aspects of respect to those who have gone before and the what they've done that has now paved the way for us in the future. I think that some of those lyrics and whatnot have resonated well, and the kids feel that and start to understand that there's significance and importance in what they're singing, and it's not just random words.
Do you see similarities between As You Wish, the lyrics you just referred to? I think you put it brilliantly. Those have gone before us, and the lyrics in You Raised Me Up. I mean, different songs, different melodies, but hey, there's a common thread.
You know, our mission as One Voice Children's Choir is to inspire the world, and there's a lot of different songs that have, in both cultures, that have similar themes. And yeah, so You Raise Me Up is about being lifted up by other people, and the message is totally similar. And I think at the end of the day, even though we might not understand all the songs being sung, I think so many of them are connected in the feelings of what we're being singing about.
How do you feel about the power that One Voice Children's Choir could have garnered in making their presence felt in China, loved by the Chinese, and really making a splash globally in making people rethink about the nature of interstate relations?
Well, I'm glad it's making people rethink, like you say, because oftentimes nowadays people are very quick to jump to conclusions, or to just what people might assume about different cultures and places. All of us could benefit from kind of stopping and pausing and thinking about both sides, if there even are sides, because at least in my interactions in my lifetime, as I've gone to different places and visited different places, I am seeing so many good people and kind people, and I'm running into people on the street, and you don't know it all, and you drop something and they pick it up for you, and so to jump to any conclusion that a culture or a people is wrong or different in a way that's negative, I'm like, it's kind of old thinking and unfortunate thinking, and we need to make sure our young kids are very open in how they're living, and not scared of getting to know other people, and making sure that they're not just looking at negative things online. There's a lot of positive things online, but we want to make sure that they are seeing those in addition to what's negative, because unfortunately in the day that we live in, sometimes the negative things get the loudest attention.
And don't you think that sometimes, or most of the times, narratives are more important than the facts? What some people call alternative facts, alternative truth. I mean, if people come to the United States and see it for itself, or come to China and see it for themselves, they pick up the little things, like you mentioned, that form their perception about that society and culture, that can be totally different from what they watch on television, read the newspaper.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure.
And you think, how do the kids feel about their China experience overall?
They love it, and I don't. The good thing is I don't think a lot of them are are coming with any negative expectations, but I think what helps now that we've been to China a few times is they're hearing about it from some of their peers in One Voice Children's Choir who have talked about how amazing it is and how awesome it is. So I think that's one thing that helps with people. If we can talk positively, post positively, share positively, I think that can be really helpful for our relationship.
Any more Chinese songs that we can expect other than, of course, you're doing Tomorrow is Better, right?
Yeah.
And As You Wish, Tomorrow is Better, Kuliang,
Yes.
and
Mulihua.
Mulihua.
Is another one that they've been working on for this week. And then we're in the process, because we come back to China at the end of December for our concert tour. We're in the process of choosing the next song. So we will have a brand new song come the end of December to film a music video of as we go around.
Finally, any closing thoughts, any final thoughts for the future? Anything you want to say to our Chinese viewers who are watching, who are following the One Voice Children's Choir with passion and with love?
We love you. We love being here. It's an amazing place. And with our mission of inspiring the world, we really come here and are inspired by everything, the history, the architecture, the people, the kindness, and the welcoming that we feel. We've been so inspired, and at the end of the day, after having been inspired, it's gonna help these kids become better people, and they're gonna be able to perform better because they're learning to care more. I often say that when you have the opportunity, because not everyone gets to, when you have the opportunity to visit other parts of the world, it can increase the size of your heart and your capacity to love. And I think that's really what's happening here with the kids. So thank you so much.
No, thank you, Tanner. Thank you for coming and bringing these wonderful kids and for putting everything together. Thank you, and come back again.
We will. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Now, in Beijing, it was such a pleasure to meet some of the choir members. For some, it was their first time in China, full of curiosity and excitement. So, my dear young friends, shall I say welcome to Beijing, China? And thank you so much for making the trip. Maybe I can begin by asking you about your China impression. What impressed you so far? Had any fun?
What really stuck out to me is like all the people. Like the people are super nice. Like the Chinese people are like one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like they're super kind and friendly, and they just really treat you really well.
Kind of same thing as her. I like the people, and I like how it feels. Like I just like the place. It's a really nice place, and it just, I don't know, it just makes me feel happy.
I really love like the heritage you guys have, like the Great Wall and the Forbidden City. Like all of that is so pretty, and just I love how all the history you guys have here and how pretty it is.
The music that you guys gave us really went viral on Chinese internet, as you may have heard. We really loved it. We're particularly impressed when you sing in Chinese. You have a couple of songs, but I think As You Wish is really the one song that clicked with the Chinese audience. You know, I talked to my family this morning, and they're like, oh, they're in tears whenever they hear that song coming from you guys.
Yeah, we sang Wish again this tour, and we sang Kuliang.
So tell me about singing in Chinese, how hard it is to pick up the Chinese and sing it.
It was pretty hard, but when we learned it, they kind of put words, like made the words look like in like American words and how it would sound. And so when we like memorized that, we got it down pretty quickly.
I feel like even if you don't like know what the words mean in Chinese, you can still feel a connection with like the music and the people, even when you're singing.
I think it's really hard to like pick up at the very beginning. Like once I've never like heard it before, trying to speak it and trying to like learn how to say it, that's pretty hard. But I feel like once you get it and once you learn how to say it, then it's just, you can feel the music as you sing. And like, it's just easy and like fun.
Tell us about the interaction you had with your counterparts, the children's choir or the middle school students in Fuzhou and in Xi'an. Well, what was it like?
It was really cool because like we went in and then they were all there and they were all just like fun and happy. And it's like as soon as you walked in, you just felt like just a connection. Like you guys were just friends and we could just talk and just It was really cool. Yeah.
I felt really good about it. Like, the kids there were so friendly, and they, like, made us all feel, like, welcome, and, like, those are friends we're going to have forever, and we, like, hope to, like, keep in touch with them.
Did you guys get WeChat or something?
Yeah, I have WeChat with a couple of the kids, and they're all so friendly, and they text me every day, and I love to talk to them. They're my favorite.
How do you feel when you sing with the Chinese teenagers on the same stage, coming to China through this very unique program, right? And I know that you're coming through a very distinguished program, singing with the Chinese kids on the same stage. What was it like? How does it feel? Because not many kids from America get to do this.
I think for me, like, music is such a big part of my life, and I just get this really warm feeling with, like, great music. And whenever we sing with, like, all of, like, the other kids here in China, I always get that warm feeling, and just, like, how amazing they all are, like, and talented they all are.
I'm like really picky, and I notice like a lot of things when people sing, and like they're really good with like texture and dynamics and stuff. But when we all sing together, it's like so powerful, and it makes me so happy to know that from two different like countries we're all coming and uniting and singing together.
Yeah, kind of what she was saying. I really like how it feels and it makes me feel. And I think it's really cool how we can all come together, like even from different sides of the countries, and still sing and sound wonderful and just have that feeling. And I would honestly do this again and again and again and again because it's such a powerful and amazing experience.
I heard that you're the first timers in China, right? Yeah. So how would you tell your friends back in Utah, your classmates, when they ask you, oh, what was this summer like? Why did you spend time in China? What's the China really like versus the China that you read on newspaper or on television?
I would honestly say it's really cool. I would say all the people are so friendly, and all the places that you go to are amazing. Everybody always says the Great Wall's amazing and so cool, and when you get there, it's even better.
Yeah, I really loved all the sites and like the story and the history, kind of what he was saying before. But I would just tell them that it's a really cool opportunity to learn from different cultures.
I think I'd tell them, like, it's such a beautiful place, and China has, like, such beautiful people, and just the heritage and everything just makes you feel so great. They're just our friends and people, too, and we just love them.
For others, it was a return visit, warm, familiar, and full of memories. I want to pick up on where you just said. You said you didn't expect One Voice Children's Choir singing in the Temple of Heaven to make such a big splash in China, but you did.
Yes. I was so grateful as we were traveling and exploring China in aspects that we hadn't the year before. We were just here to sing a song that we have all grown to love, as it reminds us of the joys and what we experienced last time. So being able to share the joy we feel singing that song by helping others hear us exploring and honoring a culture that's very new to us is just an awesome, awesome thing.
I think it's just, like, so cool. Like, I've loved learning, like, the Chinese songs that we've gotten the opportunity to sing. Like, I think that that's one of my favorite parts of coming to China, because, like, being able to interact with, like, people and, like, share, like, a message through, like, their language is so cool. And it's just, like, such an amazing opportunity to be able to, like, learn, if not all of, just, like, part of a different language, and just, like, be able to express, like, messages through that.
Yeah. Cosette, how do you feel? I mean, Chinese is, of course, is a hard language, but you somehow digested the meaning and expressed it out and presented it I think in a perfect way.
Yeah, it took a lot of hard work. I think for everyone who's learning the song, it took hours of rehearsal. It took listening to make sure we were singing it right, because our pronunciation's not always perfect. We wanted to make sure to get it as correct as possible, because language is how to communicate with others. And in China, while many people speak English and are familiar with English songs, Chinese is their language, and the Chinese songs are what's really going to connect to them. And so we really wanted to make sure we had some songs in Chinese. And I just think As You Wish was just such a beautiful song, as you said, with such rich cultural history. And so we decided to sing that one, and just the result and love we felt from the Chinese audiences, it's made every single hour of rehearsal completely worth it. I would do hours more.
And this time you brought more Chinese songs, right?
Yes.
You sing a Chinese song in Kuliang. Have you guys heard the story of Kuliang?
Yes.
It's about a guy called Mr. I think Gardner, who spent his teenage years, not even, maybe younger, in Kuliang. And upon his deathbed in the United States, he never returned. Upon his deathbed in the United States, he just murmured the word Kuliang, Kuliang, Kuliang. And his widowed wife went back to Kuliang at the invitation of our leaders, and then revisited that place and reconnected it. So that place really became a hub of China-U.S. friendship, despite what's going on right now. How do you like that story and then being there and singing?
Well, yeah, learning that story was so emotional because, you know, every other time we've come to China, we've learned some incredible Chinese history and Chinese culture, but, you know, this was a place for the first time, having been to China 3 times, where, you know, it was our culture as well and our history as well. You know, something that we, you know, it was the U.S. was there, and it was learning that was like, wow, like we're really not the first, you know, people from the U.S. to really love and appreciate and fall in love with China. You know, it's happened in the past, and it was such an incredible story to learn and to share, and singing that song with the Chinese kids was such an incredible experience.
And also, Meyer, the welcome you get, according to the videos that I saw, was pretty significant. They put a flower on your neck or something, and they lined up to welcome you guys. Tell us, what was it like?
When I first came to China, I didn't know like what to expect. And so when we went and did like the cultural exchanges and met like all the Chinese people, and they gave us just such warm welcomes, and you just felt so much love. And like I can't even express how much love I have in my heart for like the Chinese people. Like it's really just changed my life. Like the people here are just so incredible and so loving. And I think that the people here is what like draws me back to China, and I just feel like this pull back to China because the people here are just so welcoming and loving, and it's just unlike anything I've ever experienced before.
I felt it that way when I was in the United States too. You know, people are very, very nice and down to earth. Lincoln, so what about you? Which part of the China trip impressed you the most? You went to Xi'an, Fuzhou, and then Beijing.
I was very, very impressed with the terracotta warriors. In school, I've spent so much time learning about them, and it's always been a dream of mine to see them and experience them. So that was an amazing opportunity. I also love just being in China. No matter what we're doing, there's just a spirit and an energy here of so much connectedness and just very like family. No matter who you are, everyone's connected, and it's a great feeling to have.
I think we call it a fraternity in Chinese, like
Yes,
brotherly like love in Chinese language. Fraternity.
Yeah,
This word in English,
exactly what I feel, and I guarantee everyone else feels, and I will forever miss it.
This is what, the 3rd China trip or a second?
Third.
China trip. How would you compare this one versus the previous 2 ones?
This one's been very different from the past 2. The past 2, we've had the opportunity to kind of have our own little concert tour series where we could take our 2-hour set show, and you know, we go to different concert halls in different cities and really perform. And you know, it's usually just us traveling with our crew and our help, and you know, we go city to city, and you know, we really meet a lot of different people. We don't have as much chances to really interact with people because we're always moving, always traveling, city to city. This tour has been very different because, you know, it's only 3 cities, and we're not the only choir here. There's lots of other choirs here. But I find that we get a lot more chance for interacting with other people. I feel like I've made so many more friends on this trip alone than the past 2 trips combined, because you get to talk to people, and you kind of slow down and hang out and really just admire the city that you're in for longer than a day. And, you know, I really feel like connection, there's a lot more chances for connection on this tour.
And I heard that you're also practicing a Chinese song called Tomorrow Will Be Better, right?
Yes.
How is that coming along?
We sang Tomorrow Will Be Better the first time that we came to China. It was the first Chinese song that I'd ever learned, and that like really introduced me to like Chinese and like the culture, and it was so cool. It was definitely really hard because I had never like heard any Chinese, you know, like it was something new. But it was like so amazing being able to like, when we first sang that song on stage, it was just, the audiences, we got so much love and they just like wanted more, and it was just amazing. Like the feeling that I got in my heart when we like sang that and their reaction, it was like unlike anything I'd felt before. It was amazing.
Memorizing everything in the head. Do you still have everything in the head? For tomorrow will be better?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like once you memorize it and sing through it, it really just like gets like, whenever you hear it, it just comes back to you. Like I feel like I'll remember tomorrow will be better.
Can I humbly ask you to sing like a little bit of Tomorrow Will Be Better?
Just want to do the chorus.
Yeah.
Like,
当你努力的理想
伸出你的双手，让我拥抱着你的梦，让我拥有你热情的面孔，让我们的笑容充满着青春的骄傲，让我们期待明天会更好。
Wow, nice. Very good, very good. Wow, this is touching. You know, we're doing this as part of the cultural exchanges between our two countries. On the international relations scale, on the political point of view, we don't have the best of relations on the political level. But I think you guys really made people see that music transcends politics and transcends cultures. So any final thoughts that you want to say to our Chinese viewers who might be watching this program?
When we were here listening to some of the other choirs, a song was sung that said it starts with your neighbor. Being kind, changing the world starts with your neighbor. So if we can just be positive in one action every day we do to your neighbor, it will have a snowball effect that changes the world.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like just the small connections that we've been making are gonna turn into something big, and even like regardless of what's happening, just like building friendships and being kind and just like building relationships that will like last forever. And like I'll remember the relationships that I've built in China and the friendships that I've made forever, and I'll hold them in my heart forever. So I think that it just starts with the small things.
I really hope that what happens in China with the Chinese choirs and with the Chinese people happens, the same thing happens to what happened to me, because when I first came to China, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about China, and I'm sure the same way around because of our two countries. But, you know, when I went home, I was able to share my experiences with my friends and my family, and a lot of them were surprised, and they're like, really? And, you know, and it's all positive, and, you know, we're able to share experiences and grow, and then they tell their friends and family, and it kind of just spreads until everyone I know is kind of like, okay, China, like you know, it creates a more positive idea of China, and I really hope that here in China the same thing is happening. You know, that we're sharing our shared love for music and our shared connections and experiences, and that really snowballs into just a wider spread of love and connection between our two countries as a whole.
And that will do it for this edition of The Hub on CGTN. I'm Wang Guan in Beijing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again next time.